What is up? It is Andy coming to you early for Monday because, like you probably looked at the schedule and said, let's see what we got for tomorrow night. All right, this must be wrong. My iPhone must have geo-set to be in some other country. Maybe I'm in Hawaii or something because it showed a bunch of early games here on this Monday. And nowadays with technology, I swear to you, I lose track of the date. I lose track of what week it is. I swear to you, I'm not far off from not knowing what year it is. As I'm taping this, I don't know what today is. All I know is that Valentine's Day was like a week ago. It's almost February 20th. That's what today is. And we got a bunch of early games because it is President's Day, or in Canada, Heritage Day. Is that what's his name? Don Cherry? What did he say when he got booted off? He's something about Poppy.
At least you could pay a couple of bucks for a poppy.
Right? It was like, where are your poppies or something? I don't know what the hell that is.
Good Canadians that bought a poppy.
Anytime I hear I just think Poppy is getting a little bit sloppy when he urinated on Jerry Seinfeld's couch. But with that said, it's President's Day. But you know what? When it comes to us here on this channel and most of the pirates who sail the parlay seas, do we have presidents? These aren't free and fair elections in the pirates' waters. It's like a king's smoot over here. We claimed the salt throne. I claimed the sniff throne. And they're starting us off nice and early. Now, this isn't going to be my favorite pick of the day, but since there's a 12:30 game, I'm going to bring up something that I've mentioned on Picking Corners a few times. Somebody on Twitter slapped me with a tag saying, Andy, I never thought about this my whole life. Why have I never heard any... If you guys use the term capper with me again, I'm going to... Theoretically, I would never hurt anybody. I'm going to theoretically virtually slap you. There is no capper here. I don't give a rat's ass about baseball. I will never... If I was guaranteed to win every first inning bet I place, I still would not watch any baseball. I'm just a hockey guy. Hockey guy. Hockey guy. Oh! Anyway, we got a 12:30 game, and on Picking Corners, I've been talking about West Coast teams who have the Pacific time zone inner clock, about how they start off slow. If the game is at 12:30, 1 o'clock, it's 9:30 a.m. on their inner clock. And don't give me... I've been thinking about this recently. Well, they've been out there for a game or two. Have you ever been on a business trip? When you're out somewhere for like 4 or 5 days, you intentionally try to go to bed so that you don't have to reset when you go back home. So they're still on that Anaheim time. Anyway, we got these Sabres, 12:30, playing the Ducks. The Ducks just got blitzkrieged by Toronto, and Buffalo on Saturday, they eked out an overtime victory. I mean, they clutched it from the jaws of defeat. They tied it with a goalie pulled and then won it in overtime, so it was a great way to snake a win, and now they're coming back to their home ice. I haven't given a first period bet. Max won all year. I'm going to try to put this to the test and see if the Buffalo Sabres can win the first period. So I'm going to take the Buffalo Sabres. It's like a plus 130 bet to win the first period. Buffalo can give you anything in this game. Buffalo can come out and get shut out 6-0 at home. That is in the range of possibilities when it comes to them. We're going to hope, and you know what they said in Shawshank, hope can kill a man, but we're going to hope that they can come home and at least have a first good period, and it can at least just score. Give us the ruckus Buffalo, even in a loss. Score first, win the first period, go ahead, lose the game. But I also, over the weekend, remember how I told you last week, well, not only did I hit another 800 and then another 800, and then you guys got pissed. Well, anybody who joined the Patreon over the weekend, guess what they got to enjoy? A plus 1,200 and a plus 1,800 using the 2-point combos. And I'm going to take a calculated gamble at one here. How about this? Standard, I want Tage Thompson to register a point, and I want Jeff Skinner to register a point. All they got to do is connect on a goal in a game against Anaheim, where you see these games with Anaheim can kind of go wild. We got to hope still. This is Buffalo. You put those two together, that gives you around, I think, plus 180 on a same-game line-mate parlay. But if we take both of these guys for 2 points, we're looking at plus 1,000 on these two line mates. Now, I just want to remind you, when I do these, I'm looking for two players who play on the same line and are also on the same top power play. We have to maximize the opportunities that these guys can get on the board. I look for games where goals can potentially be scored. I did it Saturday night as I teased on Picking Corners on Friday with Columbus and the Sharks. I said it's going to be the game that wipes out all losses, and that's exactly what it was. That's where we nailed the plus. I'm sorry, did I say 18 plus 1900? It was 2 points for Zetterlund, 2 points for Johnny Gaudreau, and we hit it at the final stroke of the third period. I'm going to try something similar in this game with a couple of those Sabres. So first period Sabres, first team to score Sabres. Give me a point for Tage Thompson and Jeff Skinner, and then also the side deli slice on the plus 1,000, 2 points for both of those guys as well. So that concludes that game right there. Then I'm going to go into a game that's probably going to be my favorite on the slate because I see a pretty good price, and that is with the Winnipeg Jets. They're on the road against Calgary. Calgary, after the All-Star break, they had that, oh yeah, we got rid of Lindholm and we got Kuzmenko. We're going to win a few of these games. Well, it's been all losses since, and the losses have been in increasing, embarrassing fashion. They got crushed by Detroit on their own home ice. They're obviously going to be selling whatever's remaining of their sellable pieces before the deadline. And on the other side of that, we got Winnipeg back to that stifling defense. They've held every single team on this winning streak that they're on again to, as they always do, 2 or fewer. They shut out the Sharks, 1 goal against Pittsburgh, and then they went on the road and gave up 2 to Vancouver, who obviously have a great offense, and they did that in a win. Now they're going to Calgary, and I'm going to take Winnipeg to win this game. We have to hope Hellebuck's playing. It's going to be 50-50 because I think they're playing back-to-back, and maybe they want to save him for home. But I like Winnipeg in this game, and also Calgary under 2.5 goals is a plus money bet. The way Winnipeg's been playing, taking the opposing team for under that number has been pretty money for most of this season. And coming off a 2-goal road effort against Vancouver, albeit Hellebuck was playing, I think I'm going to try that again, especially when you got Calgary, who just got shut out, I believe. Maybe Max scored 1 goal against Detroit. So maybe the reality is setting in for them. I'm hoping there's a couple of reality setting in type of games on this slate. And also in that game, I think there's an excellent opportunity to take Gabe Vilardi for a point. He got bumped up to that top power play last game. I had mentioned that they were using Ehlers, and Ehlers was on the top line. Well, they put Vilardi on there, and it yielded immediate results. Him, Scheifele, Connor, they were killing it last game, and if they're starting to get into the groove offensively, I want to try to bank on that. So first thing, give me Gabe Vilardi. He's a plus money point because you get like a 1-game grace period, 1 to 2 max, where if they're going up to that top line, you get the price as if they're on the second line, second power play. So I'm trying to take advantage of that. Then I'll also do the line mate combo with Scheifele. Scheifele's coming off a 3-point performance. So give me those 2 players in a same game parlay. That will give you good plus money. And then I'm going to try it again with those 2. The same thing that I told you about Tage Thompson and Jeff Skinner, I'm going to try it with Vilardi and Scheifele. Look at the odds. Am I saying it's going to happen? No, but in the event that line goes off again, I want to snag a couple pieces on there, especially when we're getting the price that we are on Vilardi. So that's probably my favorite there. Then going back to that last Buffalo game that I was talking about, over the weekend, they were trailing 1-0, looked like a dead game. I was about to tweet out, is Minnesota back to unders every game? Minnesota and unders? Because they've been stifling other teams. Now, is that going to be like a little leak now? Is that going to be the crack in the windshield that starts to grow? That's an awful way to lose a game. And I am tempted to take Vancouver. It looks like a trap bet. I'll be the first one to tell you. Minus 115, Vancouver, one of the best records in the NHL, going into Minnesota, a team who's on a nice run post All-Star break, but just lost on their home ice to Buffalo. I do want to say to you, if you're in somebody who believes in rats and oh, that's a trap bet, they're trying to get you to click that, then don't take this one. If you don't believe in that philosophy, Vancouver is a better team than Minnesota. And if Minnesota has some shot confidence after that blown lead, losing that game, then this could be a good bounce back spot for Vancouver after that weekend loss to the Winnipeg Jets. So I will take the Vancouver Canucks in that one. Then after that, it's pirate time for the rest of you. Like it's Morphin time in Power Rangers. It's pirate time, and I see 2 opportunities to build same game Ruckus pirate parlays. I guess I have to re-explain this every once in a while. It's only fair. I still have to add the glossary down in the bottom. By the way, anytime you guys see someone in the comments who doesn't know, if somebody honestly says like, what the hell is that? Well, what is a pirate parlay? What is Ruckus on the Patreon? So funny. I saw somebody join from Mexico, and I know that because it says the currency. And then he just said, I could hear his accent through the text. I was just dying laughing, and we answered. A Ruckus game is one that's wild, like that Islander Ranger outdoor game. That's Ruckus. Goals are going in all over the place. And why are you concerned? Because you are a parlay pirate. You don't want to take a straight bet. You don't want to take that Velarde point. You want to take a bunch of things. You want to see a big fat payout. You want to be living in a hotel suite that's paid for years at a time based on one bet that you won. And the only way that's going to happen in the NHL is if scores go wild in a game and you can snag points for this guy, points for that guy. That's how you build mega same game parlays. It's not the smart thing to do. I mean, the more you parlay, the more you lose. But I know that you're not going to, just me saying that doesn't mean you're not going to do it. So if you're a wolf looking for meat, then I got some raw steak I'm going to throw out there. And as always, you can sniff your own way. And you can choose whatever players you want. But the first one I'm looking at, Edmonton Coyotes. Edmonton, I'm proud to welcome them back to the Ruckus Club. They exited for a little while before the All-Star break. The defensive Edmonton Oilers, who were holding everybody to 2 or fewer, well, now this is the Edmonton we know. This is the Edmonton we can try to build some parlays over. We were ahead of it. We took the over in the game against the Blues. Then they had an overtime game against the Dallas Stars. Now we're hoping for something like that as well. The Coyotes, they're losing left and right. They lost to Colorado in another over. I'm hoping Edmonton brings it out of them. I'm going to go with the over 6.5 here. And this game, you can take 2 points for this guy, 2 points for this guy. I like Keller and Schmaltz to connect on one. Both of those guys, parlay on points there. How about this? 2 points for Keller and give me 2 points for Evan Bouchard because I know you want the big payouts. Now, they do have Draisaitl with McDavid and Corey Perry on the top line. If you're using one of those freak sports books, maybe Corey Perry, like if your pizzeria owner who says, I'll take anything, just find me a screenshot of it. That looked like when the Devils were getting on. By the way, great job by the Devils coming in with the full Sopranos. I don't know what poppies are or whatever he was talking about up in Canada, but I do know what Guido jumpsuits look like. My uncle has a whole ton of them in his closet, so that was great to see during that outdoor game between the Devils and the Flyers. But Draisaitl is on that top line with McDavid. His 2 points is at plus, so maybe if you want to do a Keller 2 points and 2 points for Draisaitl, that will give you a decent payout. You can experiment. You can sniff your own way. The major contributors in that game do have the ability to be able to snag a couple points for you. Then the second one, you guys know this, any game with Ottawa. This was the plus 1,200 we hit. So against Ottawa, I took Kurashev and Bedard 2 points each, the same type of bets that I gave out earlier in the video. That one hit against Ottawa because Ottawa, whether they're scoring or giving them up, as you saw against Anaheim and as you saw against the Blackhawks, that's what's possible when you play them. They can score and they concede, and they're playing the Lightning, who can kind of do the same. This one has Ruckus potential, obviously. Anytime you see some sports books set a total at 7, major Ruckus potential there. So I will go with the over 6.5, which I've seen on some. Give me the 2 points for Braden Point, and then give me the 2 points for Claude Giroux, who's on the top power play and at 5-on-5 plays with Tim Stützle. I don't use Stützle because he's not on the top power play, but I don't mind using Claude Giroux. And as far as the game goes, I don't know, because you just saw the Senators had the highest win percentage over the highest points percentage, I think, over the last 10 games. And then what do? They go lose to the worst 2 teams in the West. They lose to Chicago, lose to Anaheim. So anything is possible when it comes to them, but there should be goals aplenty in this game. So I'll do the over 6.5 there. Then the snake over that I think has a good chance of hitting. I've seen some random Ruckus here from the Sharks. They're scoring. They're letting in goals. Over 6s plus money. You can call it a sniff to end the Monday video. That is what I have for you here on a Monday. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Thank you for everyone who came over on the Patreon over the weekend. You have to be happy after those. Like, Saturday was an absolute massacre. And I know I'm going for 12 straight weeks of winning here. Hopefully that starts today. Hopefully I will see you guys on the Patreon where I can update the picks and I can check Connor Hellebuck's status and all the little trickle-down things that we have to figure out before we put our final plays in. Hopefully I will see you there, but if not, no worries. I will see you here tomorrow for Tuesday, where there's another pretty big slate on our hands. Make sure you guys like and comment on these videos. You guys know the rules. Like Jamie Kennedy and Scream. Got to have over 7,500 views and over 125 comments. Then I'll just post the video as soon as it's available. If it doesn't, you get it in the morning. You still get it, but you're waiting a couple of hours. Maybe the prices get worse. Andy, are you... It's the least you can do, you rat bastards. I'll see you tomorrow.